Today I'm going to show you how to make green beans out of cans. The reason we're going to do this is because you can make green beans out of the garden, but they're available certain times of the year. When you want to make green beans to go a long way, sometimes for big gatherings and things like that, such as Christmas and Thanksgiving, my boys' favorite green beans are the ones like I grew up on, what my grandma made, which is a couple of tins of the cut green beans, a whole onion chopped, fried bacon. Now you can use fried bacon or you can use salt pork or you can use both. And today I'm going to use both. So chopped up bacon in your beans. And this is the bacon fat that is rendered from the bacon that I just cooked. Now, if you're opposed to using too much bacon fat, you don't have to. It does make the green beans taste really good as they cook down with the water, and the water evaporates. All of that bacon flavor goes into the beans, which makes the canned beans taste a lot better. So I'm going to pour the whole thing. Now, for the salt pork, like I said, you can use either or. This you buy it in the meat section of your grocery store. And you can buy it in chunks or you can buy it in strips. Strips are a little easier because you don't have to cut it and you can keep it a lot longer because it's a little bit expensive. But the salt in the pork will leach out and it will go into the beans as well. So a long time ago when people salted their meats a lot, they cooked with salted meats a lot, okay? So that's just the way that went. Granulated garlic, that's a tablespoon, thereabout. Sprinkle that in. Pepper, a teaspoon and a half. And just 1 teaspoon of salt. And you can adjust this. If you're not a huge salt person, you can adjust it. But what's going to happen is you're going to cook your beans for quite a long time. And as you're cooking them, the water is going to keep soaking into the beans and evaporating. So from time to time, you're going to have to come back and you're going to have to add a little water. If it becomes a little too salty to taste, add more water. A tip. If you oversalt anything, chop up a potato, put it in, let it cook down. The potato will absorb most of the sodium and the salt. You can take the potato out. So that's a kind of a hack that, if you make a mistake, you can kind of fix it. Now, I'm going to add a cup of water, as well as the juice that was in my beans, because it is going to evaporate, and I plan on cooking these a long time. You don't just warm these on the stove until they're hot. You cook these for about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and be sure and keep an eye on them. They're going to get softer and they're going to get more condensed in the bottom of your pan, and that's what you want. And if you need to keep adding water, that's perfectly okay. When you get to the end, you taste the beans and you add the seasoning as you prefer. More garlic, more salt, more pepper. Now, while I'm doing this, I'm going to take this over to the stove. Okay, so this is what the beans look like. Onions are still nice and white, and I prefer using yellow onions when I cook with anything. White, I prefer eating raw. So this is a yellow onion, and you're going to turn your burner to probably a little over medium high, and you're just going to let that cook and simmer. Keep watching it, keep adding water if you need to, and we're going to come back and look at it in a little bit. Our green beans are done. This is the consistency you want. I don't know if you can really see this, but you want the canned beans to start to fall apart. That tells you that they're finished, okay? Don't just warm them. They won't taste near as good. You need them to fall to pieces like that. And the bacon that you fried, it'll get limp as well. So that will tell you that it's done. Hope you enjoy.